What's going on, everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Opti-Brite LED RV light. This LED light can be used in your RV, your camper, or your enclosed trailer like we have here. It doesn't have to be inside. It is a waterproof housing, so you can put it on the inside or on the outside, and you don't have to worry about the elements getting to it. It is going to be for your 12-volt DC systems, and it's going to draw about 0.33 amps. This is going to be a lot less draw than some of the incandescent bulbs that we carry here. I always recommend going LED just because you can put 2 times as many LED lights up and draw the same amount as one incandescent bulb, and these are going to last a lot longer than the standard incandescent bulbs. This light's extremely bright, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 diodes, and it's kind of crazy that it doesn't have a whole lot of diodes, but it's really bright. It's about 380 lumens. The dimensions of the light are going to be about 5 3/4 inches long by 2 3/4 inches tall. It's only going to sit out from the wall about 11/16 of an inch. The mounting holes are going to be about 4 11/16 inches apart. Now that we went over all the specs and stuff, the only thing that we haven't showed you is how to install it. So if you stick around, we're going to show you. First things first, we want to figure out exactly where we want our light. I'm going to replace the light that used to be here. If you have wires ran already, great, we can skip that step. If not, we are going to have to run a negative and a positive wire to where we're going. And it's always smart, if there are wires already there or when you're running them, make sure you figure out which one's going to be positive and which ones are negative so we connect them correctly. So what I like to do is just take the light, put that to the side for now, and I'm going to be using heat shrink butt connectors. If you don't have any of these, definitely grab them. We do have them here at eTrailer, and these are just going to give us the best connection whenever connecting the wires. So strip them back, give them a twist, and whatever direction you're twisting them, kind of twist it as they go through there so it's nice and secure. And then we can go ahead and clamp them down. We want to make sure they're nice and tight, especially if you are going to do what I'm doing and put the wires inside the wall. We really don't want these connections to be loose or come undone in the wall because we will lose the wires, and that's not fun. Give it a good tug, make sure it's nice and snug. And we'll do the same exact thing for our other wire. Now we can grab our light. Do the same thing, and of course go to the ground side and then to the positive side, squeeze them down, and we are pretty much ready to go. Before I heat these up and completely secure them, I'm going to go ahead and kind of just let this light sit here. And I'm going to flip the switch, and hopefully we'll get some lights. And if it works, we can proceed. So it works, so we will proceed. All you need is a little bit of heat to shrink these up. I'm using a heat gun, which is really fast, but if you don't have a heat gun, just use a hair dryer or something like that, and it will get the job done. It'll just take a little bit longer. But I really like these connectors as they will seal it. So if you're worried about moisture getting in there, sometimes on trailers like this, moisture gets in between the outside panels and our wood in here. And that's where these wires are going to live. And it's nice to have a nice seal around the wires so we don't have to worry about the moisture getting in there. And if we don't crimp them down perfectly, this will help hold those wires in place so they won't come undone as easily. So that's always nice. And we do have these at eTrailer. So once that's done, cool down for a second or two, and then we can go ahead and start hiding our wires, putting them back where they belong so they're out of the way so it looks nice and clean. Just like that. And then we can go ahead and position it to where we want. The hardware is not included, but you do want to use a Phillips head because we're not going to be able to get a socket in this little hole. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna use a pre-existing hole that we had before, kind of like that. And then I'm gonna use a power tool. If you pre-drill the holes, you can probably get away with just using a Phillips screwdriver and do it by hand, but I just had this thing laying here in the shop, so we're gonna use this. Just don't screw it down too tight because we don't want to crack the housing. All right, that is good. We want to make sure it's nice and level. Once that is good, we can do the second one, and we are done. And that'll do it for a look at the Opti-Brite LED RV light.